Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm really
Yeah.
So we're going to be live. Are we live right now? I don't think so. We're going to be live in about 26 seconds. So I'll just start things off. Introduce you. Talk about a few things that I'm watching right now. And yeah, I mean, we can start from there.
I think I can't hear. If that's you talking, I can't hear a word you're saying.
What about now?
Okay.
Hello. Joining me.
Gosh. We're live. Excellent. Okay. It's either me having technical issues or you're having technical issues. I can't hear. Okay. Must be me.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
It's a bit more. It's a bit.
I think that yes. I think that now my sound is okay, right? Or is it a bit choppy?
Okay. I've had a few IT problems. Just give me 5. I'm gonna log off here and I'll run up to my laptop. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Don't worry about it. Thank you. So hi everybody.
Okay.
All right. Hi everybody. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Tea and Hot Sauce. Today we're having a great show because what we are doing right now, or what I'm looking right now is a couple of great opportunities. I do believe. After yesterday's massive rally on U.S. equities, right? I don't know if you noticed. Let's just take a look at the Nasdaq, right? And let me add just the daily open so you can see the actual massive rally that we had yesterday in U.S. equities. We opened around the 11,700. Yeah, around the 11,700, and we rallied from low to high about 4.32%. Now that was a really bullish day in U.S. equities yesterday, and it was quite interesting that the DAX and the FTSE did not follow U.S. equities on that rally. Let me show you the this is the DAX, right? This is the DAX chart, and I've added the daily open too indicator on my chart, so you can see that we opened here and we only rallied 1%. Right, it was quite the rally yesterday in global equities, but there's a big difference between how much the rally or how much the S&P 500 right here or the Nasdaq rallied in comparison to the DAX. Now, if we want to look at the S&P 500 yesterday's rally, it was also a massive winner day from high to low, about 2.14%. So having said that, the reason that I'm pointing that out is because I've been looking at the DAX for the past couple of days, well, since last week, and I've been looking for short opportunities in this market. Why? If every time we talk about the German economy, I'm talking about how I like the recovery of the German economy. after the coronavirus pandemic crash. Let that be in jobs, let that be in services, PMI, etc. But the thing is that I was looking just at levels, you know, at technical levels that the DAX might react to, and also it I mean it was quite interesting to me that yesterday the taxi don't follow that big rally on with that US equities had. So so I was so this is the exact level that I'm looking at on the DAX, right? This previous high, previous base, and now we are rejecting that same level. Just have a look at this, right? This is a key level in historic price action, and also a key base that buyers were unable to hold, and that eventually um, sellers took control and took price down for a very fast 5.86% crash, right? And when we got to the bottom of this move around the 12,400 level, we started to rally, right? And we are rallying inside of a kind of a structured or a very structured market right here. Let me just show you. Let me clone this. But also we have rallied to this level in what seems to be a reversal pattern um, on the DAX. Okay. Now, it is counterintuitive to what I'm saying, I know, but I'm just looking at the levels and how the DAX has rallied to this exact level at the moment. And what price action is telling me is that we are just getting exhausted at the top of this move. And if we grab some Fibonacci targets to the upside, you're going to see that we have hit those targets from from the first moves, right? And right now we are about to break with today's open, right? With today's open, and if we break with today's open and this low, the previous lows, I do believe that the immediate structure would be broken, and we could see the DAX turning back to at least test the previous highs right here around the 1213 no the 12 what is it 12,930 level. AC, do we have you back?
I'm back, honey. That was my
Yes,
daughter in the
how
background.
are
Sorry
you?
about that.
Don't worry about it. How are you? Nice to hear from you.
Really well. I'm really well. Sorry about that. I've had some IT problems with the
Hey,
move. I
I am
moved
very
recently.
familiar with IT problems. Don't worry about that.
I'm over them. I'm over them. I got to tell you, my IT guy, I think it was about a kilo of dust he pulled out of the back. He said, "You heard of a dust
You
bust?"
have
And I
dust
said,
out of your
"I have.
out of your laptop.
I have. I have. It just
So,
gets into those little nooks and crannies, but I'm still struggling, and my computer is like it carries on like it's got concrete boots, unfortunately.
you
So
know that reminded me of these guys' videos that I've seen. I don't know, I've seen around that. I mean, what he does is, he puts weird things inside computers and inside cars, and then takes them to the shop or the IT guy, and he put like these canned pasta soups from the United States that they're awful, but he put that he put that inside his computer and he called the IT guy.
no, I don't actually need to go and humor my IT guy. I just need my computer to work. I don't really want any more things to do with that. But just really, how correlated do you think all these markets are? Because what I'm looking at is, and I know
Yeah.
from 1952, seasonality wise,
Hmm.
we have got a strong rally in the S&P, the Dow Jones, and all the
Yeah.
rest of it, 10 days out from the 3rd of November election. So that is, we're coming up to that in the next week or so, where we're going to be looking at that kind of expected rally. And I'm just asking you, talking about the DAX, I don't know about the Nikkei and what else was poor Ash carrying on about the other day, the Spanish one. Sorry, it's late here and I had a really long day, and I'll just give you 30 seconds. I got pulled over by the police today, and my car registration had been cancelled, and it was because I'd moved house so many times. I got a speeding fine from a camera, and it got sent to the wrong address, and it hadn't caught up with my new addresses yet.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I got pulled over by the police with my daughter in the car after I just drew up from school. So I have spent 3 hours this afternoon on the phone to the Roads and Traffic Authority, then a second tier guy, and then across to the Office of State Revenue for New South Wales. And I'm just like,
I can say that I can understand you, but Jesus, I mean, you should take a break, definitely, after such a big day.
It's called a gin and tonic, honey. However,
exactly. A couple of gin and tonic. But
that's right. And the other thing, and the other important thing I had to tell you is Peter Alexander. I don't know if you know Peter Alexander, but Peter Alexander is an Australian designer, and he designs sleepwear. And he's just released one that has a black pair of pajamas, and it's got Vegemite jars all over it.
I would want that. I would want that, definitely. In fact, today's show is called Hot Sauce and Vegemite instead of hot sauce and tea.
Yeah, see you, Chloe. See ya. So here we go. But getting back to past the Vegemite pajamas and my run-in with police and my cancelled car registration and my gin and tonics, obviously. How do you see correlation coming into that seasonality, that really strong seasonal bias of a strong rally? Because we saw this huge, ridiculous, I mean, I was looking at it last night going, oh, seriously, it cannot keep going up. It's just like, it's just like a rocket launch, really, isn't it? The S&P, with the way it went off last night. Yeah, and I'm looking at it going, it's got to stop. It's got to come back at some stage. But it's coming into that seasonal bias as well, that it should go off. It should go off the rocker in the next week or so. And I'm looking at it going, now gold followed it. There was a pullback, and then it's taken off again, and it's not sure what it's doing. Gold's schizophrenic at the moment. It really doesn't know what it's meant to be doing.
Yeah, but yesterday gold did not move at all.
Off. Yeah, gold is meant to be
gold did not move at all yesterday. That was something that I consider a little bit crazy, that we had that big rally in equities and gold did not move at all. But the thing
so gold moved Friday. Gold moved Friday in correspondence with the stock rally, and then it just went, no, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. And we had an up and a down, and up and a down. We had a pullback, and we just went, no. And now it's thinking about it again. It's having a little bit of runoff. Look at it. There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
We shouldn't be doing this. I should come back. Then I should go back up. Then I should come back down.
And I actually
doesn't know what it's doing. It didn't hit it.
Waiting for that point.
Yeah, I know. So at the beginning of next week, we should be looking for a sell-off on gold. Traditionally and seasonally, it should be a really strong sell-off on gold. And I'm going back to 1952 in presidential election years. Okay, so we're going back not just 20 years, we're going back a few years. I can even say before, a long time before I was born. So
There you go. Me
There you
too.
go. What we're saying is it's just not sure. And what I'm skeptical about is such unprecedented times at the moment. And I know what we're used to seeing. I know, and I've gone back through the charts, and I know we should be seeing a really good, strong sell-off at mid next week, and a strong rally in the S&P. And I'm just not seeing that at the moment.
Me neither. And you know what? The reason that I was looking, it's interesting that you said that we should be looking for that gold sell-off. I was looking at this inflection point right here. I mean, around the 1940, right? But we didn't quite get there, so I was not going to sell gold into this week's open. That was just a crazy idea. Of course, I was not going to do it. But
and honey, if you go up, sorry to interrupt. If you go up to the daily, it sold on it closed on its high, and I hate selling on a high. So Friday was that really strong up, and I hate continuing that. And I was just like, I woke up on Monday and I thought, oh, should I? And I'm thinking
there was
maybe
no
I should
sell for
sell
me.
that. But there's no buy on that either. There's no buy, there's no sell. I needed more information. I knew when you look down on a 4-hourly chart, I've got a 200 simple moving average on the 4-hourly. It had hit that, and if you look on that, it's just flicking around on that on the 200 simple moving average. It's done this nosedive. It's bounced off the monthly pivot. That is a monthly pivot, by the way, where that close is, and it's just, and I keep saying, I just say,
there you go. We are right there struggling with the 200 moving average. You're right.
Exactly.
I myself don't use moving average, but this is, the 4-hour and the daily 200 period moving average is quite the zone if price is struggling with it, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
So if you add in there the monthly pivot. So you got
let's add it.
Add the monthly pivot, and it should be right at the bottom of that. Yeah, there you go. So it bounced off that as well.
That's the weekly. We bounce off the weekly. Yeah.
That'll do. I'll go with that.
Because
I knew it was
I like the way you think. Oh, we bounce off the weekly. I'll go with that one.
It's been a long day today. It's been a really, really long day, and I'll go weekly pivot, monthly pivot. It was something
it's the same. Check it out.
Yeah.
This is what to do, but it's the same.
Go back to weekly. That looks better. But it was bouncing off that as well. Yeah. So all I can say, guys, is I do know what I'm talking about. I don't sound like it sometimes, but I do. I do look at these charts.
No, but it's a great thing that we're talking about this, and we're looking at gold the way that we're doing, because even though that we have our biases, right now we both agree that gold is doing nothing at all. And that dip into this zone was not, to me, it was not a good deep buy area.
It wasn't. It was nothing dip. It was a dip that had to happen, okay? Because we closed on the high on Friday, and Jeff and I were talking on TTR on Sunday night, and we're saying, oh yeah, he's going, oh, but why would you keep going? That's a really good strong move. And I was just like, yeah, it's gold. Yeah, it's closed on its high. Exactly. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback. I got the pullback, but gold, it needs to test those levels. If it breaks the level, it needs to come back. It needs to find it. It needs to retest before it moves on.
That's something that I do understand, or that I've seen. From years of trading this market, that gold loves levels. Gold loves levels.
Loves it. It loves levels.
When it breaks a level, it's going to, the probability of it testing the next level is quite high. So I'm never going to get onto a move in the middle of my levels,
And I think one of the things I've learned with gold is, even when there's been some really radical, huge moves, I've been I've learned to stay calm in those big moves. And it's just like, yeah, it's going to go down. It's probably going to test that level, and it might be a 100 moving average or a 200 moving average or whatever on a high time frame. But if you stay cool, in those kind of scenarios, and understand that, you're either going to bank profit if you're running with the trend, or you just go, yeah, no problem. Let it go, let it fly, it'll come back up again. And
Oh, I've learned the hard way
with
that you have to be patient. I've learned the hard way that
patient,
that you have to be
exactly.
patient with gold. But if you are patient with gold, this market is going to reward you a lot.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I keep
that's
being told it's your shout, Ainsley. When we all get back to Singapore again, it's your shout.
definitely. I mean, this is your market. But the thing is that
Look, yeah, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
It's
it's
out.
I mean,
Just,
it is good. It's good for day
yeah.
trading, good for I mean, for swing trading. And if you really know if you really know this market, and like you said, I mean, if you're patient enough and you know what what levels to look for, the risk to reward ratios that you're going to get on those moves are crazy. For
Crazy. And as
I
they
got
say in
in on a
Kill
buy
Bill,
right here, and this is the thing about not being patient. I'm going to tell you a story about this buy that I got here in gold. I got some of it out here, and sadly, I moved my stops below these lows, and I got ticked out before the big move to the upside. And that was me being impatient of the rest of my position, right? And
you need
yeah,
some coaching. Do you need some coaching,
no,
honey?
thank you. I coach myself. I coach myself with my mistakes. But yeah, but that's the thing. That's the thing. You have to be patient with this market and
You do.
yeah, and trust the process. And right now, when where we are,
Sorry.
to me is the middle of nowhere. I need to wait for it to test either the 1940 level, and here I will look for shorts most definitely, Ainsley. This is a level that I do consider that would give a nice risk to reward on a short position, on a short-term short position, because I was telling someone, I don't remember who I was talking to, that when gold breaks and retests previous bases such as the 1920, we get sometimes these big moves, these big pullbacks, right? So that is what I am waiting for on this previous base. Even though that long term could be bullish in this market, but the 1940 level is my next key level. I have an alert that, if when gold
Yeah.
gets it's going to alert me on every device that I own.
Technical level is 1938.
Yeah,
1931, 1938, 1950.
yeah,
Are the
exactly.
three technical levels.
Exactly.
But you're absolutely right, and it's one of those things. And I know a lot of people won't put moving averages and stuff like that on, but with gold, I certainly do put moving averages on. I put pivots on. I'm a big fan of Fibonacci, because Fibonacci is so arbitrary. But why I put those on my charts is because it's not for me. It's because
No,
so many other traders, especially
Ainsley,
in that commodity, they will respect them. And,
you are
and
speaking
those
the
kind of
truth.
levels are what other algos or traders look at. And that's why I put them on. So if it gets to those levels and it pauses and it does whatever, you can see it's profit taking or whatever. That's why I do it. So I either don't get concerned, or I just keep
That's why
going and just go,
that's
yeah,
exactly
that's
why
what it's
I
doing.
use Fibonacci's. I don't trade based on Fibonacci's, but I have the 261.8 here because I know that those are big targets, big bullish targets. I don't trade based on Fibonacci's, but I know that this is a big retracement level that a lot of traders are watching. And because a lot of traders are watching this level, a lot of our algos are watching that level. It's going, and if it confluences with a key level of mine, and a structure of mind, it's very plausible that we're going to get the reaction that we expect at that level, because
Exactly.
so many traders are watching. I mean, I was talking with about this with Ash last week, and yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, I don't trade based on that, but because there's so many people out there, so many algos out there watching that level, that the reaction, I mean, that's why we're going to get most likely a reaction out of that.
Okay. Can you go to the right-hand side of your screen?
Yeah,
Can you
where
just run down the right-hand side of your screen? What have you got? Not what have you got there on the right-hand side of your screen?
this?
No. Yeah, those things. They're called numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and they relate to levels and they relate to horizontal levels. Those
Yeah,
dotted
definitely.
things, whilst lovely, are arbitrary. And they can't be programmed into algos. Those things on the right-hand side can be programmed into algos. And as a result, most of your algos are going to be as a result of a horizontal level, not as of a result of an arbitrary trend line. Now, if you go to a really strict code for technical analysts, a trend line, if you retract it backwards, if it's retrospective, a proper trend line only goes through the bottom of the wicks of a bar or a candle. It doesn't go through the base. It doesn't go through any previous price action.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a purist's technical response and definition of a trend line. I see so many trend lines that are drawn this way, that way, and it does, and it's great for about 15 bars, but not for a really good area. And it's just, that's not how it goes. But I can tell you, algos are based on what you see on the right-hand side of your screen, based on horizontal levels.
No, definitely, definitely. But there's also
Yeah,
algos based on the
fib levels,
no
pivots,
fib levels and pivot levels and there's
the
a
moving
ton of different,
averages.
yeah, there's a ton of different combinations that are that I mean that you can code, right? But returning to what you said about trend lines, I totally agree with you on the I mean how different people can draw in, etc.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the only reason that I have them on my chart is because I like to, I mean, because I watch so many markets, that I
Yeah,
like
and they
to,
help people, and they
yeah,
give you definition and a
it gives me a
pattern, and they
definition of
help
the
you
current market
zoom in
structure.
on a
And
pattern.
that's
I'm not
it.
saying
That's it.
they're
I mean,
bad.
it gives me a definition of the current market structure, and that's it. I'm not gonna trade a bounce of a trend line. I'm not gonna wait for a trend line breakout and a retest of that trend line. I trade levels. I trade levels. I trade levels.
Levels are important,
But
and
the thing is that also I also, to me, what's important is having a visual of the market structure. Um,
exactly, it gives you a visual. It gives you a
exactly.
visual, and it really helps you in that regard.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean, if we eliminate all of this, uh, you can know that we are in a current up structure just based on the highs and the lows. But if you go from chart to chart to chart to chart, you have to focus a little bit harder in order to watch this. We're getting a lot of news out of the UK and out of Ireland. Um,
Ireland. Oh my God,
yeah,
what's happening in Ireland? They were doing not
I'll
so good.
show
They
you.
were doing not so well with COVID stuff.
Ireland companies domestic legislation. Ireland says that we are running out of time. Says EU fishermen are not going to be sold out to get agreement with UK on trade. Well, Ireland is kind of in a bad spot with its borders because Ireland is not going to leave the EU, right? But Ireland does not have borders with the EU unless it goes um, the through the UK. So that's the main reason that I don't know, I don't remember how it's called. It's called the back deal or the back end deal. It's so important
Honey,
to
I don't think any of them know what they're doing.
Ireland.
I
No,
don't even think the UK know what they're doing.
no, I know, and it's crazy because I
No,
mean,
it's a
and the
mess.
pound and the pound doesn't seem to care either because
I know.
I've been just waiting for that pound crash for the past week, Ainsley, and it doesn't happen.
Me too. Me too. I'm like, okay, why the hell is the pound been rattling for weeks? And it's just like, and I hear Julian, and I, he is a Brit through and through. He's going all that infrastructure and all the rest of it. But I'm thinking they don't have a plan. They can't even work their way out of COVID, for God's sake.
No. And did you watch the unemployment? I mean, the unemployment rate today out of the UK, out of England. Just look at this massive spike. I mean, Jesus, and the pound really doesn't care. Look at this spike. I mean, it was expected to be
I
about.
just don't think. I don't think they know what is going on. Are you seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God love it. I mean, we have bound in Australia. We're currently COVID wise. We've actually opened our borders to New Zealand, so anybody from New Zealand as of yesterday could come over and not have to quarantine. And we're in a bubble where hopefully between Singapore, South Korea, Japan, Pacific Islands, and New Zealand that we can travel by Christmas in a bubble so we don't have to quarantine, which is at the moment it's really nice. I can go up to Singapore, but if I come back I still have to quarantine for 14 days, so we're trying to eliminate that 14-day quarantine period, and that's nice.
I'm gonna have to go through that myself.
Yeah, anybody from the UK and US, it's like, no, it's not even a quarantine, it's just no, we don't even want to know about you.
Yeah, like, I know. I mean, I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to the
See ya.
But I mean, I have to go somewhere. I mean, this quarantine is driving me crazy.
Oh, look, I'm fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I'm looking for a Fiji holiday in January with the girls. So yeah.
Hopefully you can do it.
Yeah, hopefully we can do that.
I'm going to my brother's in Christmas because I can't stand this anymore. But sadly, they do live in the States, and I'm gonna take my chances, like I said.
So where's your brother? Where's your brother?
He lives in San Francisco.
Oh my God, you're actually gonna go over the border.
I'm going where the forests are burning and the COVID is raining. I'll take my chances over there in California.
I heard that in the US yesterday they had 44,000 cases.
44,000 what?
Cases of 44,000.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so many. I don't even follow that number anymore. But it's insane, right? And I can't believe that that there's some governors out there that still believe that that the economy should be open and
it's crazy.
And the mask mandate is it's an attempt against the civil rights or whatever. I mean, these people are nuts. I can understand why people. I can understand why. No, not white. Why people? Why people over there think that they're giving up some rights just because there's a mandate to wear masks in public, right? I don't understand that. I really don't. I don't understand either. I mean, here in El Salvador, for example, there's not a big movement, but there's a lot of There's a lot of young people that think that because here we had a very, very strict quarantine rules, to the point
Yeah,
that
us too.
people were getting arrested because they were not quarantined themselves when this coronavirus completely peaked, right? But these people, I mean, these people not only don't want a mandate to wear masks, but they think that quarantining, that the president quarantining the country is goes against the legislation and the civil rights of the citizens, which I think it's insane because what he's doing is protecting them, right, from themselves. It's the job of the president, which is something that they don't do in the United States. So there's a lot of things with this pandemic that I have figured out from some close friends that I deleted from Facebook.
Bye. See ya. Nice knowing you.
We are about to end the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. We will be back tomorrow with Ainsley. And don't forget to subscribe if you want. Subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified. Well, thank you for joining me, Ainsley. I'll see you tomorrow.
You're welcome. We'll see you tomorrow night.